I was just wondering what your experience has been like since returning to Yorkshire, and what's it like playing for the club and being back there?
Yeah, it's brilliant kind of playing for Yorkshire. There's a lot of expectation on your shoulders every time you play, and if you don't do well, the fans let you know about it. There's been a couple times, one of my favorite, well, not my favorite times. It wasn't a great place for us as a team, but we were playing Essex at Scarborough, and we've just been hammered in 2 days. Mohammed Amir just blew us apart pretty much, and um, we were in the change rooms, and at Scarborough, the change rooms, there's kind of no one stopped, and the fan just opened the door up and told us what he thought, which we were in the middle of our team meeting, and it was a bit like that was kind of, actually looking back at it now, it is quite funny. But at the time, obviously, you didn't want us hearing him go, "You're a disgrace, Yorkshire," and stuff like that to us. But yeah, it's good that the fans are passionate. And on the flip side, I remember we played a game against Lancashire. I think it was day 3 in the evening session, and we were on top, and it was it was a relegation battle, and the crowd were so behind us, kind of, and the atmosphere in there was immense for considering there was only so many people in there. And just like when they are with you, it's so much better because you just get the buzz. But then also there's kind of, like I said, the time at Scarborough, and then this year when we played Kent at home, and Darren Stevens absolutely whacked us. And then I remember walking off the field, I think end of day 3, and we were 40 for 6 or something. And then there's always those little comments and stuff like that. But I think that's what makes Yorkshire so great to play for, is because of the passion in the supporters.
Yeah, and spoke about, maybe it wasn't a favourite memory, but a standout memory. You obviously had some fantastic knocks since you've come back. Are there any that stick out in your mind so far?
I'd probably have to say that Lancashire game, where I we got to a total, I was 100 not out, so it was kind of nice in that respect. We got to 200, but it was a fighting chance, and then in the second innings we managed to get some runs on the board, to then put them under pressure, and then thankfully the bowlers kind of did the job to get us the win. But yeah, for me, I think that was probably the most important game I played in for Yorkshire, and to be able to kind of stand up at that point was massive for me.
And I guess one of the benefits of being at such a big club like Yorkshire is actually playing with lots of players who have had lots of experience at county level, but also international level. Talk to me about the mentality of what's it like with all the players at Yorkshire, and how have you learned from the senior players in the squad as well?
It's just about how they go about things, and it's kind of, there's not one mold fits all. Everyone has their own different way they like to do things, and their amount of balls they like to hit, or to kind of the amount of practice they like, the way they practice is all so different. So it's like interesting when you just watching them go about their business and kind of thinking, well, does that work for me? Do I like it? Do I not like it? And I think since I felt like I was on that path anyway at Worcester, where I felt like I was getting to grips with myself. I started to know myself a lot more in terms of cricket-wise, what I was trying to do. So my consistency, I feel, in my last year at Worcester started to get to where I wanted, on the right kind of direction. And obviously it's not where I want it to be, and it will never be where I want it to be, because I don't ever want to get out, but that's being cricket. So it's just kind of keeps reaffirming here that I'm doing my right stuff, and by watching other players, and I can take little things from people, I can have conversations with people, try things. And a big thing that I got was from Kane, about when he's like getting ready for a game, the day before he does all his hard practice, and then the morning of, it doesn't matter because he's already done his training, he's done his years of practice anyway, but the day before is when he gets his kind of training done. And then in the morning it's a little bit more feel goods, just needs to kind of feel the middle of the batter cup, and for me it works so much better like that, because when I was younger I used to net for as long as I could in the mornings, and sometimes I'd go into the net in the morning feeling like I was going to score 150, leave the net going, which end do I hold? So the more simple I keep it, for me, the better it is. And I found kind of, obviously over the time, that that's working for me. And I just like to keep it nice and simple, and having people like that to talk to and learn from and listen to their experiences, no matter if I agree with them or not, it still makes me a better rounded cricketer because I have an opinion and go, well, actually that works for them, but it might not work for me, or that worked for them. I'll try it. Oh yeah, it works for me as well.
Did you have any partnerships with Williamson that would stand out in your mind, or any ones where you play with balance, I guess?
Gas is kind of quite a funny one to bat with because he's so relaxed, so chilled, and we don't actually speak much, which I really like. So in the middle, it kind of, he never talks for the sake of talking. So it's brilliant to kind of bat with, and he doesn't kind of put pressure on you, or he just lets you go about your business, and he will kind of say, come on, it's a key period here or whatever, but he never forces anything upon you, or he just makes you feel comfortable, which obviously I like. And then Kane was the same when batting with him. Rooty, everyone has slightly different things, and I feel they all use their kind of skill to boost your confidence while you're out there. So, for example, in the middle of an over or at the end of the over, they'll come down and they'll kind of actually say, oh, you're moving really well, or something like that, just to make you go, oh yeah, I do feel good. Or and different people have different cues, and it's just getting to know each player, because throughout the whole squad, regardless of if you're batting with, say, someone who's playing their first game, or someone who's played as many games as Rooty has for England, you still need to have that partnership and understand, because sometimes I've not said I haven't done this with Rooty, but there might be a point, if you know them really well, that they might be doing something that they're not, what they don't like to do. So it's kind of trying to understand each player and try to be able to help them. So speaking to youngsters for me is a big thing about trying to understand how they play their cricket and how they want to play their cricket, because if they come into the side and I'm batting with them, I'd like to be able to go down to them like Rooty has with me, Gaz, all the senior guys who have kind of looked after me while I've been batting, to go down to them and say, yeah, you're doing well, keep moving your feet, or whatever their kind of go-to things are for them. And just to boost their confidence and make them feel at home as soon as they possibly can, because if they're confident out there, they'll probably score runs, and with it all being in the head, they're probably going to be nervous. But if you can get them to feel like actually it's just another game of cricket, then they're more likely to succeed.
That makes perfect sense. And something I was reading last night, your dad, the dressing room attendant at Yorkshire?
Yeah, he is. I think that's the reason actually why they signed me. So my dad was down at Worcester with me as well, and then I feel like they wanted to sign me because John, the old guy, before was kind of coming towards retirement, and that's the first summer I had here, because when I joined halfway through, he was still doing it, and then I think they knew he was going to finish kind of at the end of that season. So I think they kind of went, oh, well, we'll try get Tom just so we can get Mick, and obviously it's worked out for them.
Does he give you any, it's a random question, does he give you any feedback?
No, he did once at Worcester, and I absolutely lost my head at him. And ever since then, obviously afterwards I apologised to him and stuff, but from now on, we just spoke about it afterwards, and we agreed that when I'm out, like, his problem is he's so passionate about cricket, and not just for me, but for everyone, and his life revolves around it. So lockdown at the minute's been hard with him not having anything to watch, but when kind of he just can't accept kind of, for anyone, he's always like really disappointed, or we'll be in the middle of a kind of close game and he's in the changing room, we hit a boundary and he's going nuts, we lose a wicket and it's the end of the world kind of thing. So he doesn't hide his emotion very well. So we just had a chat kind of afterwards, and I just said, look, just give me my space. If I score 100, if I score 0 or whatever, or play a terrible shot, just leave me alone. I know more than you that I've messed up, so you don't need so yeah, we had kind of an early confrontation, and then it's kind of been good ever since.